Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cup2Hook Conversations number 48. But I think that our weather, our seasons are confused. But I think that our weather, our seasons are confused. Our Mother Nature is one. I know some of you are experiencing snowstorms right now. And here in South Carolina, the sun is shining. So the sun's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But it's cold outside. Oh my goodness. So I am trying to stay bundled up. But anyway, welcome. It's great to be here. It's great to have you. I see one person here with me. So hello to you and welcome. And yeah, I'm excited. So we're going to just give this a few minutes to see if anyone else pops in here. I know YouTube has been kind of slow sometimes getting the notifications out, so we'll see. But I'll just give it a few more minutes, and if no one comes on, whoever you are, you and I will go ahead and start having a conversation, and I'll start showing you what I finished, what I'm working on, and some sneak peeks at some projects that are going to be coming up on my channel. And I'm making sure I'm coming on at the right time. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. All right. Well, my friend, whoever you are, it's you and me. So let's just rock this show. All right. I hope you've had a great week. I have had, a decent week. And so just to give a quick report, life is hard sometimes. But as I'm learning and as I already know, it's the best way to get through it is just to choose joy. And that's what my channel is all about, is choosing joy and living the joy. So that's what I'm doing. Tuesday, while I was doing PT, my leg gave out, it buckled, and I had to basically be taken back to my chair with some physical help. So that was a little frustrating. And then I was told not to do any exercises over the next couple of days. And then when they came back on Thursday, yesterday, we did very, very light PT, and they examined my leg and my knee and saw some concerns. So when I go to the surgeon and my PCP next Tuesday, I'm to bring all that up. But anyway, other than that, that's the worst of my week. And I say that like it's no big deal, but pain is a crazy thing. But other than that, I feel pretty good. I got most of my videos out. I did not get all of them out. So again, I appreciate your patience. Had a small brief talk with my supervisor via text messaging yesterday, and I told them that I was going to be there today at the hospital having some blood work and stuff done, getting ready for next Tuesday, and could I check my email and maybe obtain the things out of my locker. And I was told that that was requests that needed to be handled through HR now. So I was like, oh. So I texted her back and I said, okay, thank you. So I am pretty much 100% certain that my job is probably definitely going to be taken from me. And so I had a whirlwind of emotions yesterday. A little bit of it was, sadness, a little hurt, a little frustration more at my body and the fact that it's where it's at and doing what it's doing. But all of those emotions were very, very briefly lived because I'm only human. And so as a human, we have the right to get frustrated over our limitations and things like that. And so I had a brief moment where I was frustrated that, this whole leg thing is even a part of my recovery because it wasn't supposed to be. And the frustration that here we are 9 weeks after surgery and I still can't use my leg. So I am very curious to see what happens next Tuesday at the surgeon's office and my primary care physician's office, and to see what they say. Even if the spine is growing in the bone like it should be, then I still will not be able to return to work because of the leg. I can't go to the job on a walker, and I haven't been transitioned to a cane yet, and I don't even think that they're going to allow me to go on a cane, and they pretty much said so. So where does that leave me? Well, I spent 3 hours yesterday kind of browsing through online, looking for jobs online that maybe I could just do from home with my situation for the duration of whatever. And to sum it all up, I spent a good part of yesterday working on some of the Morning Joy blogs for next week, and I took a peek into the following week, and this is what I was reminded, because I already know this. Right now we're kind of looking at strength and relying on God's strength. Next week, the topic is joy. Doesn't get any better than that. And it talks about no matter what we're going through and whatever obstacles and, situations we face, we need to ultimately always choose joy, because when we're in God's presence, there's room for nothing but joy. He's going to take care of everything else. He's going to protect us. He's going to provide for us. And then, so I had to take a peek into what the following week would be. And as I kind of glanced through some of it, it's on patience. And so I was like, okay, God, I get it. Yes, you have me sharing this with all my friends, but ultimately, I get it. You're talking to me. Rely on your strength. Find the joy. Live in the moment. And be patient and wait for me, because I'm going to put you right where I want you. But right now, I need you to be content, because Cynthia, I have you right where I want you right now. So I was like, okay. So as I was scrolling through these online job opportunities and trying to discern whether they're legit or whether they're a scam, I was about to give up for the day when I came across an ad advertising for being a blogger on YouTube. And so I was like, oh, okay, I've got a channel, I'm growing it. So, I was literally going to sign off. And then my tablet scanned up just a little bit, and right under the YouTube ad was one for Instagram. I've been trying for about 3 weeks to start kind of putting blogs again on my Facebook page and on my Instagram. I think I'm going to let the Twitter go. But, maybe I'll just post like finished object pictures on the Twitter one. But I want to focus more on the Facebook business page and Instagram. And so I'm like, well, what are you telling me, Lord? Are you telling me that right now you want me just to trust you and just have fun with my YouTube channel? And that's what I feel like he's telling me. And so my husband and I sat down and we talked last night. And, with my job, I did pay out of my paycheck for short and long-term disability. And right now I'm on short term, and it will run out very soon, and long term will take over on May the 4th. So I have, 3 to 6 months with that before the money runs out. And I have to have another backup plan for paying my bills. So that's what my husband told me to do. Just listen to God. You've got this. You know this. You know He's in control. And so just play on YouTube for 3 months and heal, get better. Rest when you need to rest, and crochet and do videos when you're feeling up to it and take the pressure off. So that's where I'm at. So when that call comes and they say, we thank you for your services, but, we, have to let you go, I can smile, although they won't see it on the phone, and I can say, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity that you did give me, and I learned a lot. And, I look forward to our paths crossing in the future. And I'm ready for that. Now, if God so chooses that they say, oh, we're going to hold on to it for another month, and let's see where we're at, I'm going to scream with enthusiasm and great joy because I love what I do. So the bottom line is, I want you to know that I am profiting from the Morning Joy blogs just as much as many of you are. And I know there's a good many because I've gotten emails and I've gotten comments on the videos. And I am very, very thankful that those have been very encouraging for so many of you. And I'm just reporting that they have been for me as well. So again, I apologize for any videos that haven't gotten out. And, now that I am focused on just, having fun on my channel and healing, well, let's see what happens. And don't be surprised if some of my recorded videos become lives. I'm very excited about that. I'm just going to see where this journey takes us. So in the meantime, I finished something and I'm so excited about it. And this was on our Yarn Joy Adventures. And that episode really drug out a lot longer than I wanted it to. But again, it's one of those circumstances that I've had to humble myself and eat some humble pie and understand that while I think I'm in control, I'm not. And I had to learn to slow down and listen to my body and just do what I could. But with that being said, I'm hoping that Yarn Joy Adventures are going to be more short adventures that propel us from one project to another a lot quicker than the first project, because we've only done one project on Yarn Joy Adventures so far. And that's on Sundays. And it was creating this blanket using the textured, the crochet textured cluster stitch. And oh my gosh, you guys, I first came across this stitch when we were in part of the beginning stages of creating the Longmire blanket, and I fell in love with it, and I knew I wanted to do something else. This is definitely not going to even be the last project that I do with it because I really, really love this stitch. But I kind of showed you this blanket last week. I had to finish it up. I had to add one more section of each of the colors and put a border on it. So this is it right here. And I just think it came out really, really pretty. And then for the border, I went with something very simple. And all I did was took 3 of the colors of the colors used and created a single crochet stitch around. And that's all that is. It looks like it's something fancy, but it's not. It's just simply single crochet. And then with the 4th color, when I went around, I just created little picot stitches and gave it kind of a little bit of an accent to complement the stitch. But I wanted a border that wasn't going to take away from the beauty of that stitch. So I'm very happy that that blanket is completed. And so what have I been working on this week? Well, I had taken all of my stay-at-home box yarn from Crochet Society, and I decided to make a baby blanket out of it. And then some of the yarn, like there's 2 skeins, I believe, that came from other Crochet Society boxes that I took from those boxes to add to this blanket to give it more color and a variety of color. And so I'm on the very last section before I do a border. So I'm very excited. This worked up very quickly. I am simply doing half double crochet stitches on it. And I'm going to pull my thread, my yarn, I said thread, my yarn a little bit here because we walked straight in and I walked straight to the studio, and I got out of the car and didn't put a stitch marker on it because I worked on it quite a bit today, waiting in the doctor's offices and stuff. But anyway, so this is that blanket, and let me start with the bottom. So it starts with a yellow, and then it goes to a peach. I hope it shows up that way. And then we have a variation of some blues and greens, kind of, but they're mainly all in the blue family. Then we went white, and then there's a light blue, and then more of this kind of mint green. And then I'm going to finish up with a lavender on the top. Now, the funny thing is, all of this yarn is the Bella Cocoa yarn, and except for this purple. This purple, and so all of that was like a medium 4-weight yarn. So then the purple that I'm using is Premier Bamboo Joy, and I got this from Kelly Platter in one of the little Happy Mail boxes she sent me. It's a lightweight 3. So what does that tell you? When you have a medium 4-weight and then a lightweight 3, I don't know if you can see it, so I'm going to hold it close. But right here at the bottom, and it doesn't really show up for you, but the stitches are a lot smaller, and you can see that they're a lot looser than, say, this, yarn is. So what I did on this row here and going forward, I'm actually doing what would be considered a half double crochet decrease stitch all in one stitch, and I'm doing that in every single stitch, so it makes the stitch thicker, but it still only has the one loop to represent the one stitch per stitch on the previous row. So anyway, so I'm almost finished with that. I'm not really sure what kind of border I'm going to put on it yet, because I'm also trying to decide if I want to crochet an applique to put on the bottom of it. And I know, because some of the skeins, it's really funny, they're the same amount of ounces, and I've learned this with the Snuggly Wuggly yarn that I used on this blanket I showed you a minute ago. It's funny how some of the skeins I had more yarn left over than other skeins, and supposedly there's the same amount of yardage in each skein. Well, I've come to find that out with the Cocoa Bello yarn as well. And so I have, some skeins left over, because when I first started the blanket, each skein was giving me 11 rows. So to keep it consistent, I kept doing 11 rows going up. But on some of the skeins, when I finished 11 rows, I still had yarn. Some I didn't, some I did. So whatever yarn is left over from this blanket, I'm going to do a lovey with those colors. So it'll still match, but the lovey just won't have all the colors in it, which is okay, because then I wouldn't, I wouldn't want to put all the colors in it anyway, because the lovey is not that big. It's not as big as the blanket. So I feel like it's all going to work out. So I'm really excited about this one, to have a matching lovey with it. And then on top of it, I get the joy of trying to figure out what kind of border to put on it, and then decide if I want to do an applique. And if I do an applique, I want it to kind of match what the lovey is. So it'll be interesting. We'll see. But anyway, so the applique will only be on it based on what the lovey is. So if I determine what the lovey is going to be and I don't feel I can match an applique to it, then I'll just do the lovey. But anyway, would love to know what you think. So then I'm excited about what is coming up with Yarn Joy Adventures. With Yarn Joy Adventures, we are going to start making kitchen accessories. And so that means we're going to do something that I've never done before. I have made tons and tons and tons and tons of dishcloths and dish towels. They are some of my favorite things to give and make as gifts. But I've not made any using the scrubby yarn. And so I have pulled some out, and you can see the difference in them. These here are the same. They're red heart, and it's just called Scrubby. And this is what it looks like. And I'm sure you've seen it before. And it's got the little, you know, trying to think of what to call it. It's just, you've got your main strand here, and then it's got little flecks of it coming off on all sides. Then on this one, and this is rather soft, even though it's scrubby, it's still rather kind of soft compared to this. Then we've got this Scrubby Sparkle by Red Heart. And you've got your main skein there, but if you look, the little portion, or the little, you know, strings, I guess, only come off on one side of it. And it's a lot rougher than this is. I mean, this is soft, really. So I thought I would make up one before I do the tutorial. And so I did, and I did it using a solid white cotton yarn with the blue Scrubby, just to see what it did. And I am so in love with this. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And if you'll notice, this strip right here looks different from all the other ones. So what did I do different? With these here, at the top and at the bottom, I crocheted both the cotton yarn and the scrubby yarn together with each stitch. On this row, just to see what it was like before doing the tutorial, I did a row, or did 2 rows, where I did just the scrubby yarn. So I like the look of both of them, but as far as wear and tear and use, I personally like it where the scrubby yarn is in with the cotton because it seems sturdier. Whereas the 2 rows that have just the scrubby yarn, let me see if I can kind of show you. I just feel like it would be a lot easier for it to tear, like to snag on something and rip. So that's just my personal preference. Of course, you know, you play with it and see what you like. But for me, on my dishcloths, I think I'm going to always do it in with the cotton because it just gives it that sturdiness. And then you've got the rough texture, or, you know, I say rough texture, but the strength of the cotton with the scrubby to really get your dishes clean. So I'm very excited about that. And so the colors that I'm going to be using for the tutorial Sunday are Peaches and Cream, and this is in the colorway, I had it right, Emerald Energy. Isn't that pretty? And so the scrubby I'm going to use is the green. And so I'm real excited. And then the following Sunday, we'll do another one using this different, the Scrubby Sparkle, and I'm going to put it in with this yellow. So, and then after that, we'll move on to more projects for our kitchen. And I'm very excited. I've actually started working on one of them, and I've frogged it because I was only using one strand of yarn as I did it. And I am going to go back and redo it in the tutorial using 2 strands of yarn for each stitch, because I think that's what it's going to need to give it the weight. But that is the only Easter egg, I guess, I'm going to give you on that project. So you'll have to stay tuned and come check it out on Sundays for Yarn Joy Adventures. So that is what's been on my hook. Of course, the Longmire blanket is on my hook, and oh my goodness, we are almost done with it. I'm so excited. Tonight for movie night, we get to pick the last 2 colors that are going to be picked for that blanket. After that, everything will be decided for finishing it. So it's really important tonight for the 2 lucky people, the 2 lucky man or woman who plays and gets to choose those 2 colors, because those 2 colors will create the border of our Longmire blanket. It is so surreal that we are here, that, you know, we are sitting just basically a month away from finishing up everything with the Longmire and starting Call the Midwife. So how exciting is that? And so that's what's on my hook. What's on your hook? What's in your cup? Tonight, I'm just drinking straight hot chamomile tea because it is freezing cold outside. It's South Carolina. It's almost May. Where is our spring weather? Where is all this cold coming from? And my friends who have snow, I'm not complaining about the weather we're having in South Carolina, because it's a lot warmer still than what you're dealing with. All right. So that's what's on my hooks, because I got several hooks going. And that's what's in my cup. And speaking of Longmire, I will say this on Cup2Hook movie night, but Petra here on YouTube let me know that she once got to meet the writer of Longmire. And I thought that was really, really cool. I was looking up, here it is right here. It's under my choo-choo train ready for movie night. Craig Johnson is the writer of Longmire, and she got to meet him. And I think that's pretty cool. So, hello, Kay. She says, I have a shawl on my hook and sweet tea in my cup. Oh, sweet, sweet. Is there a particular shawl you're doing, or and what colors are you doing it in? I bought some of that Yarn Inspiration Karen Ripple Cakes that I want to make a couple shawls out of. I've never used that yarn before, so I'm excited to give it a go. But the next project I'm going to do is going to use the yarn that Kelly sent me 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited. It is sitting in that box right there. So I'm going to use it very soon. As soon as I finish this baby blanket and the lovey and the border and all that. So, all right. Want to do Saturday shout outs? And if you weren't here last Friday, Miss Bree from Bree's Little Crochet Corner won my giveaway for my 1-year pod anniversary, and that went out in the mail today, and I've already talked with her, and so she knows to expect it, but what she doesn't know is what day it's scheduled to come in. So Bree, if you catch this video, my love, they say you should have it on Monday. All right, let me grab our shout out box. Okay. Now, I have not had a chance to go back and look at the comments, and let me see if I can pull it up on my phone really quick. But I had one comment that I'm not really sure I understand, so I'm going to try and see if I can get them pulled up really quickly before I say a whole lot. But they did not seem happy with the shout outs. Now, I've been doing these Saturday shout outs pretty much almost the whole year that I've been on YouTube, and I've never had anyone appear to be bothered or upset by the shout outs. And in fact, I now see other channels that are now doing shout outs. And they even call them Saturday shout outs, or they're just doing them as shout outs. And I just told them, you know, that I apologize if the shout outs offended them. I certainly don't mean for it to. That it is just simply my way of saying thank you for being my friend and hanging out with me on my channel. And I mean, I don't get anything from it other than the pleasure of just being able to put your name out there, that you can see your name, you know. You receiving joy, especially from me, brings me a lot of joy. And so I don't mean to upset anybody by any videos that I put out. And so I'm going to go back. I don't know. I might be able to just click over here and see it better. And I can. So let me do this. It'll be a lot faster than my phone. But again, I do apologize. I don't mean to ever upset anyone with anything I put out there. I'm waiting on the computer. I hope y'all can still see me. If not, you can hear my voice and know I'm still here. Okay, so here is that video. So let me go see if this person responded. Hello, she says, hi everybody. I'm eating my dinner as I'm listening. I have ice water in my, the Longmire is on my hook. Yay! And still knitting the 10 by 10 squares for a queen size blanket. Ooh, that's a big project, but fun, fun, fun. And Kay says, it's called the Lacy Crochet Shawl. It's by the Crochet Crowd, and I'm using Lion Brand Mandala in the colorway Groot. Oh, I've seen that Groot. That is beautiful. And I love the Crochet Crowd. And that's really funny that your shawl 7:55 p.m. here in South Carolina. And come join us at 9 for our movie night. Bring a whip along with you to work on, and be prepared to have some fun, some laughter, some giggles, and just hanging out with friends and having a great time. All right, you guys, I love you. Thank you for coming by and spending time with me tonight, even though the video has been kind of like woo, 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 with the internet. And no, I will not do that again. I've had so much fun, even though it's been kind of in and out tonight. I love you. Have a great week. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations. And please, please, please find your everyday joy and let your joy tanks overflow. I love you so much. Bye, everyone.